Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming and Tech Reviews, a channel solely dedicated to helping you validate the purchases that you make. And today, we are looking at the PlayStation 5 Pro PSSR 2 update for Assassin's Creed Shadows running on PS5 Pro. Well, we already said that. My friends, this looks very good. Now, it already looked good with just the system level PSSR 2 update, but this here actually, enhanced the overall texture quality and detail a lot closer to the character. Well, see, now these trees right here, I really don't remember them seeing, they weren't as crisp as they are now, okay? And then like down and through here, obviously there is a lot more detail in this. So we're gonna go ahead and jump down here, check this out. Oh, whoa. Hey, buddy. Come on in here. Whoa. Let's get out of here. Bye, buddy. Sorry, guys, we're just running. Whew, look how sharp this game looks, though. Yeah, I think this looks definitely a lot better. Definitely better. And it runs so smooth. My gosh, my friends. Ubisoft really cooked with this one. Man, when this game came out and I was playing it on the PS5 Pro and I was doing the PC and I was covering this game and I ended up beating it on this, like, oh my gosh, if I would have known, seriously, if I would have known that it was going to be this much better on the PlayStation 5 Pro back then, oh my gosh, dude, I would have probably been a little upset that, oh man. This is incredible, my friends. What this means for like PS6 with backward compatibility, guys, the biggest bonus of PlayStation 5 Pro, my friends, and I know it seems like a R&D project and we're the guinea pigs. Like, I get that. To me, that's what it feels like. We are the guinea pigs, you know, we get to buy it and support this, you know, essentially product that is still in development. Let's just put it this way. This is a practice PS6. And for me to be able to have this and to be able to use this and watch it grow, my friends, I know that some people, they want everything right now, and that instant gratification is very important to them. It's not as important to me, honestly. And that's probably because I have literally a PC, I have an Xbox, I have all of the different, you know, platforms because of the way I have, you know, decided to take this channel. I could have just stayed on Xbox and, you know, console, but I decided to go and just do everything. And now here we are, you know, 5 years later. We're 5 years in like 6 days, guys. 5 years. And, you know, I've invested a lot of money into this channel. And, you know, I feel like we have a pretty strong foundation, you know, at least the algorithm knows what my channel makes now. So I put out, you know, the only videos that really don't do well are the gaming videos. Everything else usually does pretty good, but I still do the gaming videos because I want the algorithm to see those videos as well. But this generation, guys, has been pretty broken. Like it has. Like, this is the first time we've ever seen anything like console prices not only not going down, but increasing over time as they go on. And I mean, it is, let's be real. It is kind of hard to argue prices going up on a new product. It is. Like, it's hard to argue, but prices for every piece of hardware and tech are going up right now. It's not just PlayStation or Xbox or anything else. It's literally PCs, it's stereos, it's freaking anything that has RAM or chips or anything like that. The prices are going up. And so I guess I'm not going to sit here and try to argue the whole pricing thing. I mean, to me, $900 is, it is a pretty decent sum of money. Like, I'm not going to argue that. I mean, sheesh, it takes me a little bit less than a whole week to make that, you know? So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty, it's a lot of work I got to put in just to buy one of these. So yeah, I get it, you know, it's, and I guess I get that not everybody is, you know, as blessed as I am, or whatever, like however you want to look at it. Either I'm blessed, or I get up and I go to work and I've learned my trade and I know how to do my job very well. So I'm an asset, not an expense. I don't know, however you want to look at it. That's up to you. However you want to justify how you earn your money or whatever. $900 to me is $900. That's definitely more than my truck payment. So I don't know. I just feel like the amount of value I'm going to get over the lifetime of this console, to me, it's worth the trade for the money. But, you know, everybody's different. This console is clearly designed for the more affluent PlayStation customer. The PlayStation customer that absolutely just wants the best they can get. Yeah, this is pretty dang cool, man. I just ran Starfield next to my 5090. I've run this next to my 5090, next to my, you know, my 9070 XT, and PlayStation 5 Pro delivers the definitive console experience for a lot of these games that support PSSR. Now, one could argue that, like, look, man, if you go back to like the beginning of the generation, there's a lot of games that have come out that don't support PSSR at all. And, you know, the one thing that I think Sony could have really benefited from is making a system-wide solution that updates all games automatically. You know, whether the developers go in there and support it or not. I think that could have boded very well for this console. But, you know, that's the thing with splitting the console generation, is the fact that, you know, it's not a full consistent experience all the way across the board. They need to figure that out for PlayStation 6 generation. They cannot keep doing this. You know, you cannot keep buying consoles and then having half of your collection not support the features. You know, I mean, the one good thing is most games this generation have come with dynamic resolution, dynamic frame rate. You know, they're not just capped at 30 frames a second no more. They do have, you know, unlocked, you know, up to 60. You know, it is definitely a step in the right direction, to be completely honest with you. It is. Like, this is the evolution of console gaming this generation has been a lot better than last gen. I mean, think about it. Last generation, we got PS4 Pro, we got Xbox One X, and we were still getting capped 30 frames per second games. None of those games, even knowing that they were going to be able to, you know, utilize, you know, like a dynamic resolution or stuff like that. Not all games had dynamic resolution. Most of them had, you know, like checkerboard rendering. Checkerboard rendering really, I mean, it was kind of a step in the right direction, but at the same time, the results of PSSR going into the next console generation are going to be significantly better than what we got going from last gen to this gen. A lot of our cross-gen games from PS4 to PS5, the ones that had checkerboard rendering and stuff, really did not benefit that well. I want to go back this way. Gosh, this game is so freaking beautiful, so beautiful. PSSR is really putting in a lot of work here. Like, this is absolutely beautiful. Very crisp, very clean. Yeah, I'm not going to sit here and argue that you should go out and buy a PS5 Pro. I'm just saying that if you want the definitive best experience for upcoming games and for there's a pretty good selection of games that are actually benefiting from this. Pretty good. Most of the very important ones, like the bigger, third-party games and stuff. Obviously, a lot of the first-party games and stuff are definitely benefiting from the PlayStation 5 Pro. Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously you're still going to have inconsistent frame rates in some of the heavier games and stuff like that. But I mean, like, look at this. We're at like 55, but VRR support at 55, perfect, not a problem. You got VRR support, keeps it nice and smooth. That's just some of the things that you're going to, I mean, it is a console. The only way to get around that is to go to PC. And I get it, man. PC can be kind of overwhelming for a lot of people, but it's definitely worth learning and enjoying. Like it is really cool. Like PC is awesome. And once you do finally decide to upgrade from the console to PC, things it's different. Like it is different. It's not better. It's not worse. I mean, it is better, but it's not like. It's more of a different experience than just things. I don't know. Some people get like really hooked on PC, and that's cool. Like, it definitely is awesome. But like this console generation being like I really do feel like that. I really do feel like we're guinea pigs this generation. They're trying to get all the bugs worked out so that they can, actively find a new price point for consoles and stuff. I mean, if PS6 is significantly more powerful, I mean, I just did that premiere with the Starfield, and we were talking, like people in there talking and stuff, and talking about what the performance level of PS6 is going to be, and I think it's going to be closer to like a 9070 XT raster, and then clearly better ray tracing performance, newer AMD architecture, so it'll have better ray tracing performance, it'll have better upscaling performance, stuff like that. So, I mean, that's basically all you really would need to get like high quality, visual quality. But at the end of the day, guys, I don't think that PlayStation 5 Pro is as bad as a lot of people out there are trying to make it out to be. A lot of people are doing it for personal gain, obviously. They're criticizing the PlayStation 5 Pro. I mean, dude, even I criticized the PlayStation 5 Pro $700 price tag before it came out. But then again, I was one of the first people in line to buy a $700 PlayStation 3 when it came out. So who the hell am I to criticize anybody? The one thing I don't get is people criticizing the PlayStation 5 Pro, yet they won't buy it and see it for themselves. Because we all know that YouTube freaking, you don't get like a 1-for-1 image quality while watching YouTube. You just don't. That's why I filmed this on my screen with my 6K camera so that it downsamples to 4K, so that when you actually get the video quality, you can actually still see that, like, whoa, it looks sharp, it looks crisp, it looks pretty damn clean. Right now, my capture card, for some reason, it makes it just look, it looks soft. So I've opted to just use the freaking thing. Gosh, this is great. This looks incredible. Like I'm absolutely blown away after buying this and playing this game at launch and then seeing what it looks like now. Oh my gosh. But I do want to touch a little bit more on this generation. Okay. You have a decision to make as a gamer, as somebody that likes to play games. You've got some pretty heavy hitters coming out at the end of this generation. And they will probably come out before the PlayStation 6 is available. And I mean, to me, playing, something like GTA 6 on like base hardware, I would absolutely need at least, you would have to play it on like 1080p, my friends, or freaking, a 1440p monitor or something, which is still an option, which is a very good option. And, PlayStation 5 base model and Xbox Series X, they're not bad consoles. as long as you have the right image quality. And like I said in some of the first videos, look, PlayStation has solved the 4K issue. Okay, PlayStation 5 Pro is they've solved the 4K issue, the 4K thing that was, you know, really detrimental to this generation. I mean, most console gamers are older now. You know, most console gamers that are like really into this stuff, like my generation and stuff that grew up with consoles, we're a lot older now, man. It's not as much of a problem to buy a console. You know, we're spending $900 on our console, but like up to $2,500 for our OLED displays. And you know, like to me, I mean, when Blu-ray players first came out, they were freaking super expensive too. Like that's just technology, man. Like it should get cheaper over time, but I don't necessarily blame PlayStation for upping their price so much. You know, at least they brought a pro console, you know, after launch. I mean, think about it. The Xbox Series X was Xbox's pro console, and the freaking PlayStation 5 was already sometimes beating that in like image quality and stuff, gameplay, frame rate sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, but then again, the PlayStation is the platform that most developers target. So I understand that too. And, you know, now here we are with a pro console that definitely outshines the Xbox most of the time. There's still like performance things that like the Xbox will still do better. Obviously the CPU is still quite freaking low on this one right here. It's still the same CPU ish. So not a massive upgrade on that front, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I get in here and I start playing around with stuff and looking at things, and I'm just blown away, man. The PlayStation 5 Pro is pretty freaking cool. You know, you got to treat it as what it is, though. I mean, like, it is close to the end of the generation. Honestly, if you were a lucky guy and you bought it at launch and now you're getting this big of an upgrade for it, like, wow, man, you were very smart to do that, because this is definitely better than launch. But if you're one of them people that are like, oh man, should I buy it? I don't know, man. Nobody knows exactly if PlayStation 6 is coming out next freaking year in November. Okay, like nobody knows that for sure. Sony could push it back a year and, you know, like refine it more and, you know, make sure that they've got, you know, like the best hardware they can get. You know, I mean, honestly, it kind of depends on stock levels of PlayStation 5 and Pro. You know, I mean, if they've got a whole bunch of stock on the shelf, maybe they can justify, you know, depending on what Xbox Helix is, that might give PlayStation a little bit more time. Maybe they need to fine tune it a little bit more, something like that. But I don't know, man. Like I'm quite curious to see how the next console generation is going to go. And with Xbox pretty much basically putting their games on PlayStation, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how long it takes for the PlayStation to come out. Oh yeah, let's go back to daytime. Let's go back to daytime so you guys can see what the heck is going on. I'm going to probably end this video here in just a second, but yeah. This generation has definitely been a very interesting generation. Definitely more of a, yeah, this has just been wild, guys. It's been wild. Honestly, I think, you know, it feels like the generation is still just barely starting. We're just barely starting to get the games that, you know, we should have been getting, and now it feels like the generation is almost over. And, you know, we don't really have a lot of the stuff that normally we would have by the end of this generation. I just don't feel like it doesn't feel like like a normal generation, guys. It doesn't. I mean, PC hardware and stuff is significantly surpassed this generation more so than ever before. But you know, consoles like the PlayStation 5 Pro have integrated a lot of that PC level upscaling and stuff and been able to do it very, very well. So I definitely think the next generation is going to be incredible. But I also feel like this generation's not completely showing us everything that it has to offer. And that's why I think that, you know, this is the last point that I want to make, is that's why I think that this generation alone, the cross-generation period is going to be a lot better than it's ever been before. So investing in like a PlayStation 5 Pro now, I don't think it's going to be as... I don't think it's going to be as bad as I think that I honestly feel like investing in a PS5 Pro now is still going to get you an incredible next-gen experience for the most part, but I do think that you're not going to get as much ray tracing. So I think that that's going to be the next big thing for next-gen consoles, is going to be that ray tracing. Ray tracing is absolutely going to transform next-generation games a lot more. And yeah, dude, this is gonna be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. So guys, if you like this content, do not forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, have fun.